Hi guys, welcome to the video. We're doing the how to play football like Dybala. This is going to be part 1 of 2. We're going to be discussing what makes this player so unique and so good and how you can start playing more like him. For those of you who don't know, Dybala is a 22-year-old Argentinian player who plays for Serie A side Juventus, and he's been taking the Serie A by storm in the season that just finished. I've been studying him in order to make this series, and I have to say I was very impressed with what I saw, more than I thought I would be going in. So in this video, we're going to be going over what makes him so unique and the things you can work on to be like him. And in part 2, we'll actually give you some demonstrations on what practices, drills, and things can help you improve the areas that will help you play more like Dybala. So the first area we're going to cover that makes Dybala so good, why he's such an effective player, is his dribbling ability. One thing I noticed about Dybala's dribbling is that he's actually very effective over being fancy. He'll pull off the odd fancy move, but it's always with a purpose. He's very effective with the cuts and the turns that he performs. I also noticed that he uses his pace to great effect, but even if you don't have much pace, you can still do a lot of what he does to be an effective dribbler. So one of the moves I saw that he really loves to do is a simple cut move. Whether it's cutting inside or outside, he'll do this all over the field in order to change directions quickly or just outright beat some defenders. He's gotten so effective at this that there were many times in some of the footage I was watching of him that he beat 1 or 2 defenders with a simple cut. Now, if you want to learn how to do an outside cut, you can click right here, which will take you to a video that shows you how to do it, or I'll put it in the description as well for you. Another move that Dybala uses very effectively is the body feint, and it's actually one of the things I think that has drawn comparisons between him and Messi. He is absolutely exceptional at the body feint and uses it very often to beat defenders. This is a move I always give raving reviews and a move I always recommend every player to learn because it's so effective, and Dybala shows us just how effective it is. But what impressed me the most about his dribbling ability is that he's able to run practically at full speed with the ball close to his feet, practically glued to his feet. This is another one of those things that I think helps draw comparisons to Messi with him, is because he's able just to run at full speed practically with the ball within close control. I have made a video that actually gives you a few cone drills you can do in order to work on your close ball control while dribbling. I'll have that right here if you want to take a look at it, or it'll be in the description down below. But this is something Dybala does so well and so effectively, and it's one of the reasons I think he's able to beat so many players at one time. Second thing you need to learn to become if you want to start playing more like Dybala is to be more unpredictable, because Dybala is an extremely unpredictable player. And one of the main reasons for this is because he has a very high soccer IQ, especially for his age. The more I watched him, the more I realized that this guy can basically wriggle out of almost any situation with the ball. He seems to make the right decision most of the time as well. Whether that decision is to cross, shoot, pass, or dribble, he seems to always pick a decision that works out well for his team. He reads the game well, and he just seems to know what to do. And this comes from having a high soccer IQ. And this is something that all the best players that have ever existed, or all the best players currently, do have. Now, I did make a video on how to get a better soccer IQ. You can take a look at that here. I might make a new one on the subject, but this will definitely help you get started in raising your own soccer IQ. Obviously, his great skill, first touch, and vision contribute greatly to him being unpredictable. He's what we call a multifaceted player. If you ever come up against a player and you knew exactly what they were going to do each and every time, it's probably because they were a very predictable player. They were doing the same thing so many times that you knew exactly what they were going to do. But with Dybala, you can't really expect something, because then he'll just burn you. You don't know if he's going to dribble and get past you. You don't know which move he's going to do. You don't know if he'll take that quick shot or maybe get creative and find a teammate. That's what makes him so unpredictable. Another thing that helps him be unpredictable is his creativity. I saw him pick out so many wonderful passes for his teammates that not every striker or forward player can do. When you look at some players who are just goal scorers, they might pitch in with a few assists here and there and a few good plays. But Dybala is that player that if I played with a player like him, or he's on my team, or he was on your team, you would expect him to be able to create something not just for himself, but for his teammates as well. And the final point I want to make in the category of unpredictability is he uses his body extremely well. Now, this is not something that I usually cover with most players because not that it's rare, but most professional players have a certain level of ability when it comes to using their body effectively. But I was very surprised to find that Dybala uses his body extremely effectively to not only shield the ball, but to also beat opponents. For his diminutive size, it is very, very impressive. And again, it's one of those reasons that I think he's compared to Messi, because this is something Messi is extremely good at as well. I don't have a video on the topic of using your body effectively, but I will put in the link down below one I think can get you started. This is such an important skill to have in the game that isn't often covered. It is basically the difference between you retaining the ball, losing the ball, being able to beat someone, not beat someone in many situations, and being able to basically stay strong on the ball while maintaining control of it. And Dybala does this to great effect in many of the plays that you can look at, because I put a highlight video in the description if you want to take a look at some of his best plays over the last season. And finally, if you want to play more like Dybala, you need to develop great technique. Because he has great technique, he's able to strike a football purely and effectively, which allows him to shoot from distance very effectively as well. You can, of course, take a look at this video that pops up right here if you want to learn how to have good technique while shooting from distance. This will teach you some of the things you must know in order to strike a ball cleanly like Dybala, which he's so effective at. I think one of the things that just kind of epitomizes, or is a good example of how good Dybala's technique is that he takes a lot of set pieces for Juventus. And you think of the Juventus team with the quality they have and the players they have that could be taking set pieces, well, Dybala takes a lot of them because he can deliver such a good ball. This is also emphasized with his crossing ability, which is really good. And if you want to be a good crosser of the ball, you have to have good technique, because you need to be able to put it where you want it with the right amount of speed and pace as well. Something that is a very useful skill, and Dybala can do very effectively because he has great technique. Dybala is also a very good finisher. I think this is an area to actually improve a little bit, but he's only 22, so there's plenty of time, and I think we will see much better finishing from him. I could compare it to Suarez when he first came to Liverpool. His finishing wasn't the best, but by the time he left, he was one of the best finishers in the world. I think Dybala could do the same thing. His finishing is by no means bad. He is a good finisher, but I would like to see him make that jump to world-class finisher, which is going to put him into the upper tier of footballers on the planet. Alright guys, so that is how to play football like Dybala. You need to work on these areas that I've covered if you want to start playing a little more like him. Now, I'm not saying you have to play exactly like Dybala. We're just examining his game and taking the things from his game that we can use to improve our own. Okay, so take what you want to work on, make sure you work on those areas to improve your own game. All of the videos I mentioned are also linked down below, including a Dybala highlights video of his first season at Juventus, so you can kind of see firsthand what I'm talking about here. So make sure you check out those links and click on any of the videos I suggested to see how to work on those certain areas. I will create part 2 once we get 80 likes on this video, so make sure you like and share this video so they get spread around and we can get those 80 likes. Once we hit that, we will do how to play soccer like Dybala, which will be part 2 of this series, where I'll give you some actual demonstrations on how you can practice some of his moves and other things. I might do some diagrams on his creativity, things of that nature. So make sure you like and share the video so we can get to that. All right guys, thank you for watching. If you're also not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Simply Soccer. We release anywhere between 3 to 5 videos every single week to help you improve as a player, including videos like this, along with more demonstration videos that show you how to do different skills, different techniques, things of that nature. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.